manslaughter case of Jennifer Crumbley, the mother of the Oxford high school shooter who killed 4 students, appears to be having some issues tonight. They didn't come to a verdict after a day of deliberations. Crumbley, of course, the first parent in America to be charged for a mass shooting for something her child did. But deliberations went on for about 7 hours today, and during that time, the jury had questions.
Can we infer anything from evidence or witnesses that the prosecution did not bring, specifically not bring in the shooter or other people who could answer how he specifically got the gun?
Now remember, the shooter refused to testify, and the legal answer is no. The judge called the jury out of deliberations to explain that.
Make your decision only on the evidence that I let in and nothing else. Your decision should be based on all the evidence, regardless of which party produced it. You must decide this case based only on the evidence admitted during this trial.
Another question they asked was to clarify the 2 theories under which Crumbley could be convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The prosecutors have to prove she caused their deaths, that it was reasonably foreseeable that her son would do this, which is not easy legally, but prosecutors say this case is different.
She doesn't even regret it. We have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that she is guilty of 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. It's a rare case. It takes some really egregious facts. It takes the unthinkable. And she has done the unthinkable.
Parents say they bought him the gun, even though he's begging for help. And the prosecutors point to the parents being called into school on the morning of the incident after their son got caught drawing a picture with a gun like the one his dad had purchased for him with the words, "Blood everywhere, my life is useless." Both parents were called to the school to address the image, send him back to class. He's already pled guilty, being sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But the defense argued the mom, Jennifer Crumbley, had no idea that the situation was this dire.
Can every parent really be responsible for everything their children do? Especially when it's not foreseeable, and this clearly was not foreseeable to Mrs. Crumbley.
Deliberations continue tomorrow morning. Look, all the lawyers I talk to tell me such a hard case to prove, reasonably foreseeable, caused the death. And all the non-lawyers, like the callers into my Sirius XM radio show, think the facts here were so egregious that it should be a relatively easy conviction. I've long believed a hung jury could be a very real possibility here. So does Jesse Weber. He's an attorney, anchor for the Law and Crime Network, also a NewsNation legal contributor. All right. So, Jesse, what do you make of the questions that the jurors were asking today, and do you think this suggests that they're having trouble?
So 2 things. One, let me just say, the fact that they're asking these questions, the fact that they deliberated for 7 hours is a good thing. You want them to be wrestling with these questions. Such a complicated case. Their first question was about the 2 different legal theories that they could find involuntary manslaughter. It's complicated. One, it's either that Jennifer Crumbley was
put them up, guys. We'll put them up while you talk.
Was grossly negligent about how she stored the gun, or 2, she failed her legal duty to make sure that she can control her son. Those aren't easy legal questions to ask, and it's a bit complicated. The second one is, can they infer anything from any evidence that wasn't presented? So if the school shooter wasn't a witness, what can they take away from that? It seems they might be wondering, did the prosecution maybe not give something that they wanted? Maybe they're wondering, what are the avenues we can find her guilty? They're wrestling with this, and I think that's, for me, it's not an easy question. And I've long said, I said it to you, I think that this could be a hung jury. I actually think it'd be an acquittal. I think having 12 jurors agree, not that she's a bad mom, but that she committed a crime and caused this shooting might be difficult.
I think an acquittal is going to be tough. I think an all-out acquittal. But look, you know, it is interesting, the difference between the lawyers I talk to and just, you know, the public. The public, the parents out there, you know, say, what are you talking about? How could she do this? Well, of course something like this could happen. And that's the challenge I think the defense has.
Well, there's 2 sides to every story. I can read you all the bad facts, right? I could say she didn't bring him out of school. She's telling him don't get caught. But she provided context that in her direct examination. She says, wasn't given all the facts. I didn't see his journals. I didn't see his text messages. The school didn't take him out of school. So it's kind of these 2 sides that are difficult to wrestle. I swayed back and forth.
See, I think the problem is, I think that the defense is saying this could happen to anybody. And I think most parents out there are basically saying there is no way that would happen to me. We got to go to break.
A lot of these jurors are gun owners. That means it might not help them. It might not help Jennifer Crumbley. They were responsible with their guns.
Jesse Weber.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.